The Two Count, where comedy meets wrestling. Please comment, share, and like, and if you're watching the live stream, join us with your comments and questions. And now here are the hosts of The Two Count, comedian John Russell, and wrestling broadcaster Big Ace.
Well, wasn't that something? How you doing, buddy?
Oh, hey, I'm good. Sorry, I'm trying to like post stuff. You know, we share.
I understand.
So people can watch, and I just did it, and then realized I didn't put the link in it, and I was like, "Why does it look like that?"
That's the way we grab the listeners, though. I mean, the viewers of whatever they're doing. Yeah, man alive! I'll tell you what, it's awesome to be here. It's July the 7th. Did you have a good 4th of July, buddy?
I did absolutely nothing.
Didn't even leave the house?
No, not really. Sunday, I went to my family's, and we just kind of hung out and grilled out a little bit. But I mean, otherwise, to me, I've always been somebody who works on the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah.
I always have. I mean, you know this, radio, don't get holidays off. And if you're full-time and getting a holiday off at that time, guess who was taking that shift for you? It was me. And then between the bar, doing that stuff, and then doing the group home stuff and things like that I'm kind of into now, you just kind of can't really take a lot of holidays off. I can now, actually. I should rephrase that. My current job, you get holidays off. So, but I'm just so used to not, I'm so used to working that. Here's a good story. I legit set up to have, because part of my job is I do hire people for my department at work.
Okay.
I set up an interview on Friday, July 3rd, with a potential candidate, and just never
blew it off
me. And I did this on a Monday or Tuesday, and immediately, because I have to send the calendar, to the other people who are involved in the hiring process. So I'm sending them just so they know that I'm doing it this day and this time. And 3 of them got back to me like that, just to be like, what? I'll do that on Friday? You do realize we're off. And I'm like, why are we off? Saturday is the 4th of July. I was like, oh, really? I didn't even know. Okay, yeah, I guess I should reschedule that.
It's too easy. It's too easy to screw shit up. I went down to my my kids' in-laws have a cabin down south by Cannon Falls, Minnesota. And holy crap. Between my 2 sons and my son's father-in-law, they must have spent $1,500 on fireworks.
Oh man, that's so crazy.
Dude, it was insane because so many places didn't do fireworks at all,
right?
And holy crap, I went there last year and I thought they did a good job, which they did, but my God. It was amazing. And not only them, but everybody around the lake. And I should see if I can pull that up. Did you happen to see the traffic copter in LA that was showing all the fireworks?
No.
Let me see if I can pull that up.
I did. Never mind. I did.
It looks like it's computer generated. But it's not.
Yeah. I did see that.
It's just amazing. So anyway, we did that. Folks, if you're watching, subscribe. First of all, we need the dudes. Second of all, we got a cool contest. Guess how many entrants there are? 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pop this up. It's real easy. I'll put this. I think it's already in the link is already in our description. There it is. There's the web page. You go to the web page. It's pretty easy.
Oh, wow. You have a Norwegian boat on there.
Well, what do you think? I'm a fucking idiot?
Sometimes. No.
Shut up, you. No, it's like I'm doing.
Is that our boat even? Or is that it's
the same boat. It's the same boat. I can't scroll down. It's just because of the sizing, because I have it so it'll scroll. But that's the Pearl, baby.
That's awesome.
And so I thought, well, what better way to get people to enter than if I go ahead and record my own video? Oh, look, how do you enter? You click that. Watch videos. Well, there aren't any goddamn videos because nobody's entered yet in a week. How to enter. Here it is. Your story could be this. You tell us your favorite experience right now in 4 minutes. You got 4 minutes. Let's see. I'm on my computer. Record from webcam. Okay. Clicky click. Oh, look. It has a little flash thing. You might have to tell it to allow flash. Okay. I allow it. And then you click to agree.
Whole screen. Can you do that?
The whole screen? You want that on the whole screen?
I got bad eyes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, let's see here what we can do. Let's do that.
Ooh,
that's as whole screen as I can get it. But then, so anyway, click to start recording. Okay, I will.
Are you're going to record now? This is great.
Yeah, because I need to have something up there. Hi, this is John Russell. I've been here for 25 minutes, and I've never been on a boat. Well, not a big boat like this boat, but I'd love to hear your stories about the Jericho cruise. Wouldn't that be fantastic? If you could tell me that, and we'll send you a prize pack from the 2 Count. And we'll also, here's the real bonus, we'll send you a $50 Amazon gift card, and you could use that any way you like. Use it on the boat, use it on the shore, use it in the air. We don't care. Pop it in there. Let's see if you win. And thanks. Bye-bye.
You know, it's funny.
I'm reviewing now. Can you hear it reviewing? Oh, no, because I didn't.
Oh, it actually says you're reviewing. Like it tells you.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
You can review it. If you don't like it, you can do it again. Now I got to just, there we go. Enter in my email. Yeah, there you can get my email. Jay. And then, yep, that'll work. And it's as easy as pie. Easy as pie. Enter me in. Oh, thank me. Then it thanks me. And then it gives me an option that I can add a comment and say, look at what I did. Enter my contest. Enter my contest. Big old one there. Enter this contest. And then I'll email it to you so you can see it. I have the choice of email. I can put it on Twitter. I can put it on Facebook. Let's put it on Twitter. Yeah, okay. Let's do that. I haven't even done any of this, but it's very simple, as you can tell. All right. Now watch videos. Well, there's no videos. So what the hell? Guess why? You know why there's no videos? Because I do not have I have to approve it. Because once it comes through, I have to make sure. Oh, look, there's one to approve. Well, there's a customer's video. What can I do? What's the status? Action. I approve it.
You know what I was going to say, though, that was funny is when you were doing the announcer voice there.
Yeah.
Would you do that just because you and I both come from a terrestrial radio background or doing all these podcasts and internet shows.
Yeah.
We come from the old school days. And it's just funny because you hear that because that's how I sound. Like when I would do that kind of stuff, you can tell that wasn't me. It was kind of jokey, like, like how Howard Stern goes over the top and he's like, but it's funny when you meet people in that industry though, who really are like that though. And like think that, and it's just like, bro, take it down a notch. There's no microphone on.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know,
and it's funny because everything they say, and it's kind of like being the elite, how they kind of really did the running joke about Justin Roberts and everything.
Yeah.
He's on, he would just always, announce everybody. There's some people in radio, man, that it was like that. You talk to them and they're just like, I'm fine. How are you? And we had a country radio guy here who was famous for that.
Oh God.
Hello.
Hi. I need, dude. I just say I puked so bad that I need to get a drink.
So if anybody's ever wondered that when you were like listening to the radio back in the day, like, does he really sound like that? Half of the time, no. Half of the time, we are just see. That's the thing, though. It's when you get those guys who because
Hey Dan, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for looking in.
When you're on the radio and you do your you're doing just like your actual like break, or if you're lucky enough to be on a talk show, you're actually doing a segment.
Yeah,
you're chill. You're hey, like how we are right now. Like JR, how about this? How about that?
Yeah.
And there's just some people that even during their segment, did you hear about this?
Like my favorite was always, hey, it's It's 10:05, 5 after 10.
I know. We've talked about
say it twice. Say it twice. I mean, God.
Yeah. And I know we've talked about it before too, but I don't know if I've said it on this show. But the other thing that always killed me is when it's because we're in the Midwest, we're in Minnesota, it's winter thing. Whenever you hear that radio guy that's going to be a little bit of the white stuff in the forecast, like, shut up.
Really? Cocaine is going to be falling all around?
Half of the people are outside just like, yeah,
I stick a straw in the air because we're really going to get snorted up tonight.
Some guys just jumping into snowbanks thinking it's coke. It just bothered me. It's a disservice because it's like, dude, your job is to entertain, but when you're doing stuff like that, you're also giving that information. And it's just so lost on people who are in that industry that were always over the top. You were
there. I think you were there when I was on the AM station, on the AM talk station.
Yeah.
And I had this bit that I did up in Fargo, and I didn't do it all the time, but every once in a while I would do. There you go. I would do a guy called Yuri Skilkovic, the 60-second psychic. And it was just the stupidest thing. And I started doing it on a hard rock station, okay? And so the idea was we would get people call in, and of course, it was radio. You couldn't see like this. But I always talk with a Russian accent and I'll say Eastern Bloc. But I'm always not wanting to do such a good job with psychic, but to sell books. And the whole thing was, hey, there's Corey Adam. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Corey.
But always talking about doing 60-second psychic. And the easy way to do it is you call in, you give me phone number, you give me what you have for breakfast and birthday, and I can give you a perfect reading. And people would call in, and I would hear shit in the background, right? It'd be like, oh yeah, September 3rd, bacon and eggs, and whatever the hell. And I would hear something, right? I'd hear noise and shit in the background. I'd say, my friend, it's very easy for me. I predict today you will have a very noisy lunch hour. and they ate it up. But see, then when we went and did it down at the talk station, all of those old idiots thought it was real.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, I lost a piece to my dishwasher. Do you think you can help me find it?
Right.
No. I don't know.
Excuse me. That's another thing too, though. Anybody watching the show, we've talked about how both of us have been involved in radio, but I think one thing we've never really talked about, and people should know, because I've always been impressed by this skill set that you have, and that is you are really good at voice work.
Yeah,
you can do a lot of different. I'm so jealous. Like that, I can't do voice. Like, dude, the show that I used to do, my first wrestling podcast that I did for a few years, a long time ago. Like one of the running bits that I was involved in was I would be Arnold Schwarzenegger. Don't know why. I don't even remember how that became a thing, but it became a thing.
Let's hear your Schwarzenegger.
It was awful because that was the joke.
Let's hear it.
It was like, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Get down, it's a helicopter. But like the whole thing was he was like buddies with Hogan, but they were complete dumbasses. Yeah. That was the bit. So it'd always be like, hello, it's my friend Hulk Hogan. We are two good guys, like stupid shit like that. And it was like the thing is, it was horrible, but it was like really the closest that I could do to anything. Like I can't, dude, I'm half Mexican. I can't even pull off a Mexican.
I know, and I'm always feel like I'm walking on eggshells whenever I say to you, "Si, senor." I just don't want to get
I can't do it. I'm so white when I'm like, oh, what are they? Oh, like it doesn't. Yet you see me with my cousins, and it's like, what?
I'm like, yeah, it's like, how do you fit in that family?
It's very bizarre. So do you think, are there any wrestlers you can think of off the top of your head that like had to have to do horrible accents?
Who had to, who were forced to, or did them well?
It was obviously not their regular voice, and they were doing it for the gimmick.
Well, I think the Mountie was very exaggerated.
Sure.
But other than that, like
they play their part. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, but see, the thing is, well, here's something funny. All right. You may remember this. This would have been, God, 3 years ago, maybe now. Raw was down in Des Moines, Iowa. And this was when Rusev was coming up and Lana was still actually Lana, the Ravishing Russian, right? And there was,
thank you for,
do you remember this? And they hired a comedian that I know, and Corey Adam, if he's still watching, knows, Doug Stone from Des Moines, Iowa. And and everybody I know that is in comedy and in wrestling was jealous as hell, because here comes Doug Stone, and he's supposed to be Rusev's attorney.
I remember
and
that.
He kind of looks the part, but when he does the accent, it's horseshit. It is the worst Russian accent I ever heard in my life. He's like, and this is my Russian accent. It's very good. No, you changed nothing.
Which is so great. That was the thing with Lana that I always hated that they did, is it's like you hit that Russian, what do they call the Ravishing Russian for so hard and so long, and she was so in it and was just like, anytime you saw her was in that accent and character, that when
she was good at it too.
And that's the thing that I never got. Her with a Russian accent, she can cut a promo like no tomorrow, within the guidelines of what she had to do to push Rusev over. But then they let her just be her, and it's like, I don't even want to see her on screen, man. Like, just don't. We don't need it. Like, look at it now. Like, she's kind of involved in this Natalia thing, which again, that could be kind of cool. Like, again, if they build a women's stable, not even just a women's stable, like throw a couple guys in there eventually, but a stable where Natty's leading it. I mean, you're going to get my attention.
Well, anyway, point being, my favorite wrestler that I can do very, very well is, of course, Jesse Ventura. I used to call radio stations from Bitboard back in the day when he was the governor, and do fake interviews.
God, too bad he ain't running for president.
Boy, if he was running for president, I would all of a sudden be relevant again.
We would have a field day with that. Can you do a Kanye West or not? Anyways,
easy. No, I can't.
That's some stuff. Anyways, there was a lot of things going on in wrestling. Some things we should talk about.
Yeah, you want to do newsy news first?
Well, let's just get to like what the talk of the night was, or what seemed to be really hot, and that was yesterday on Raw. And that was two things: is one, Heath Slater, he returned to Raw TV, as well as Kairi Sane. Returned to TV when it sounded like she was kind of done.
Well, it sounded like both of them were done.
Right. And I'm curious to know, I guess I didn't hear more. Maybe you may have, because I know you're a little bit more into the Kabuki Warriors, but I guess, like Kairi's still leaving though, right?
I believe she is. See, it was a shock to me to even see her, because what I had read was she got married and she's just going to be done and go back to Japan, and they had, just like they did with Charlotte, they were gonna use it as an injury write-off, and she's gonna be gone. And lo and behold, here she pops up.
Yeah, and once they start doing shows back in Japan, she's gonna be fine. She can just go right back.
Oh yeah.
Or who knows? Maybe she wants to do like the family thing like Becky. But yeah, kind of a surprise. But then it kind of makes sense because she hasn't actually been let go yet.
Right.
So, she's still under contract. They're going to do what they want to do then, which kind of is interesting.
Is that your mic that pooped out?
There we go. I just got to figure out a better headphone situation.
Don't do that anymore.
I don't want to do Bluetooth because I feel like it might mess up.
I'm not doing Bluetooth. Get a here.
I'm talking about my headphones.
Get it. Dude, I know. Get a Yeti, put a sock on it, and that X is your filter. Well, and then down at the bottom, can you see here? That's where my headphones plug into the bottom of the mic. It works slicker and crap.
Well, the problem is I'm running an extra long audio cable.
I don't give a shit. It doesn't. But if you plug it in there, then it works.
It works. Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
trust
just
me.
that connection. They don't make just like 20, like I just bought cheap buds because I don't wear earbuds except when
me too. Look, I got a pink pair. Here's a pink pair. I got 4 more I didn't open. Guess how many? Guess what? They cost me $10 for 5 of them.
Right. Yeah, there's usually not long enough to get from where the mixer used to be to where it's now.
That's why you get one of these and put it in the mic. Then it's right here, right by you.
I know, but that's just not in the cards right now. Not if I'm going to buy the video editing thing.
Oh yeah, you should buy that first.
Come on, man. I got a mic, so I can still get along with this.
I got it. You got a plan. Let's do it. Let's work the plan.
Which, by the way, I don't think we ever finished really wrapping that up. But anybody who's watching, if you were on the Jericho cruise, please, you have about 3 more weeks to get into that contest, or 4.
Yeah.
Throw a video up there. Let us know. Again, we're not. There's no strings attached. Literally, just we want to hear your cool stories.
I just want to hear the cool stories.
And we're going to give you some cool prizes just to say thank you for kind of helping us and sharing your cool stories. So
that's the whole thing, because some of you know Ace. He's been on. This will be coming up on his 3rd. I've not been on one. I kind of have an idea from what he's told me, but I want to hear from other people how much fun they've had, and we want to give you some rewards. And you know what? I mean, I'll even say right now, the first person that will go ahead and put a video up on that site, I'll send you a shirt just for doing it, and that way, if you win, you can get another one. And the fact is, right now, your odds are real good. You're going to win them. You're going to get an extra shirt, which sucks, but I mean, I'll do it because I'm rolling in that government money now.
Anyways, yeah. So do that, everybody, and then so.
And share this shit with people too, because we got nothing going.
And anybody watching who was not on the Jericho cruise and is like, oh, I want to be able to enter a content, we'll do something for everybody too. So,
if seriously, I'll have another contest for everybody that subscribes and just says, "Hey, I just subscribed, jackass." But you got to say that. You got to say, "I just subscribed, jackass."
Yep. Comment on this video on YouTube and subscribe. Let us know.
Subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine if you watch on Facebook. It's great. But go over to YouTube, subscribe, and then go back to Facebook. I don't give a crap.
Yeah. Plus, we got some cool stuff that's going to be coming down that we're going to start working on here in the next few weeks. That hopefully we'll be adding more cool content to our YouTube and not just our live show. Some actual cool stuff that we're going to put together for everybody. So cool stuff to look forward to. But yeah, another cool thing that happened was Heath Slater came out on Raw, Open Raw, which a lot of people.
Total shocker.
Well, it's super big shocker because obviously he was one of those ones that got let go, and obviously he was one of those ones that's been pretty vocal about how, he did what he could do there, but really, did he ever get the fair chance? No, not really. And he was never really shy of that. It was really weird timing though, because he was on Wes and I's show literally 2 weeks ago, and he had to have known then. I would think it was really. Could have been last minute, I guess, but I feel like he had to known then. But I didn't get. And also the way they brought him back. So it was cool that they brought him back. Missed having Jinder involved in that though.
Yeah,
it would have been.
But he's hurt, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's out. He's out with some injured shoulder, I think, right?
That or COVID. Who knows?
Yeah,
you never know. They're all out for mystery at this point now. Because that was another weird thing. Did you see that Drake Maverick had a weird tweet from his wife on his Twitter account today talking about how he's got doctors making sure he's okay, blah blah blah, and then hours later he tweeted again being someone was messing with my Twitter, I'm okay, everybody. And it was just instantly I was I bet you he's got the COVID. And she tweeted that, and then real quick was you know what I mean?
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Weird stuff, but yeah, man, it was crazy to see him come out. It was cool to see him and Drew. A lot of those guys, because Wes is really good friends with Drew as well.
Yeah,
because a lot of those guys were in FCW together right at that same time. So when they're on TV being oh, you're a good friend or brother, that part's real. A lot of these guys really did come into WWE at the same time.
Yeah,
and we're there together. So that was cool to see, man. And the promo was great, man. Heath was looking real good on the mic. He's looking jacked.
Yeah. He's getting ready to go to Impact.
He's getting ready to do something, that's for sure. The dude's got a new fondness for CrossFitting now that he's not working with WWE, he was telling us about that, which I don't know. Have you seen these CrossFit workouts, JR? Do you think you can do one?
Yeah, my CrossFit is have some chips, have a hot dog. That's as cross as I get.
I'll tell you what, man. I did it for 3 months. I did like a 90-day challenge.
How did you feel?
Okay, so here's the deal. It was great. If I would have followed everything that I was supposed to follow to a T, it would have been even better.
Yeah.
But I have a real problem as far as like dieting.
Mm-hmm.
Man, was I living here? I think I was. Yeah, so I was living in the current apartment I have now, which I do not have the greatest setup as far as like meal prepping and all that stuff. Yeah. I have a very small kitchen. My oven is all jacked up that really only like 1 or 2 of the burners work usually.
You gotta call your landlord, dude.
Oh, but this is just because how old it is. Like this isn't.
They still gotta fix it.
No, they won't, dude. Like it's not that kind of thing. Like the people who own this building, literally, this is just extra cash in their pocket, and we pay dirt cheap. So can't really expect. I mean, they fix things that are necessities. You know what I mean? If the whole oven stops working,
pretty much necessity to use that thing to eat,
it'll get replaced. Well, but the thing is, 2 burners still work.
So you got a half oven.
Yeah, man. Well, I take it back. They work, but the 2 are crooked. The burners don't sit in the spots they're supposed to.
Yeah.
So I can't put pots on them or pans on them because they slide off.
You got a hammer?
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Come on, man.
No, I mean, I'm also looking to move.
Yeah.
In the next few months, I'm looking to buy something and actually
How did you sidetrack us so far away from wrestling?
Because you started talking about having my landlord fix it.
I didn't talk. No, that wasn't me. You were talking about that you had things, and I was concerned. I was concerned for my friend.
Well, because you were asking how the CrossFit went. So, like, again, the food prepping didn't go down as I had hoped. The dieting didn't go down as I hoped. Half. I did like a half. I went 50% on it. I did the workouts. I lost like 30, 40. Take it back. I think because I was at 3. Like I was like 300 pounds even. And I'm like 5'6". So
I know.
Think of that. I was at about 300. This was getting to my worst. Like I almost called DDP up. I was getting to that point.
He would have charged you. He doesn't.
I know, dude.
He only does shit. He only does shit for free for famous people.
I met him in 29 at WrestleCon, and he legit for 20 minutes held up his autograph line and was telling me what I was doing wrong. Because I had just gotten.
Are you kidding?
No lie, dude. I was a month into doing the yoga, and I had met him in New York and told him, and was like, I need some encouragement. Because again, the eating and the dieting, it's always been hard for me. It's always been the harder part. I don't mind being active. Like legit. It does work, Dan. You're so right. The DDP does work for me. I think it's just the time. It's not as quick if I actually hit like a harder workout, which is why I tried to CrossFit. But he literally held the line up for about 20 minutes. The guy I was with has pictures of him, and he's like patting my belly, and you gotta go gluten free, bro. Like, yeah, look at the belly. You feel how hard your belly is right now, bro? That's gluten, bro. You gotta go on that gluten free diet, bro. Okay, and then you gotta just get up and do it every day, brother. That's what I'm talking. Like, legit, people behind me were like, "Are they gonna take the fucking picture?" And I'm just sitting there like, should I be happy that I'm getting this one-on-one time with Diamond Dallas Page, or do I feel kind of shitty right now because he's kind of berating me? He's kind of like giving it to me, like he was like throwing some heat my way. It felt like, and I was just like, okay. So then when it was done, it was finally, and also on top of this, like right before we got to the line, like up to take our pictures and autographs at DDP. He stopped for 20 minutes then to eat lunch.
Oh my God.
We had to wait. And then when we went in and then I asked a question, then another 20 minutes of just him being like, and I'm just standing there like,
so let me ask you this. Is yoga program, is this something you can, like, you paid for it? Pardon me. God, there's pro audio. You paid for it, right?
Yeah.
So can you just go back and do it when you want to now?
Well, so here's the deal though. Back in this time, like the app and a lot of like the streaming stuff wasn't really a thing yet.
Oh,
you were buying the DVDs at that time.
Oh,
I still have, I think it's a 3 or 4 disc set, and I can only find one of the disc right now. I don't know what happened to the rest of it.
Well, you got a great relationship with him. You say, hey, man, you remember back?
Hey, remember when I paid $20 for your picture and you told me I was fat and
rubbed my belly?
Yeah,
I need a little help.
That's where I like went speechless, is when he started patting my belly, being like, "Hey, you feel how hard that is?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I get it, dude.
$100 for a year's not bad."
Well, it's not bad. And like the first year that we were on the cruise, and Dan, you may remember. I can't remember if Dan, you were on the first one. There was like a really good. I think it was like a 1 or 2 week free trial, and then there was also.
Oh wow.
Dude, during the holidays, he does some pretty crazy good discounts on yearly memberships to the app. I'd like to get back into it, but again, I think at this point I'm looking to kind of do something that's a little bit quicker, a little bit more of actual cardio, and I kind of want to start lifting a little bit, get some muscle.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Anyways,
so I'm just curious. Well. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the CrossFit though, it went really well. Other than the eating part, I think I dropped about 50 pounds. It was about 40 to 50 pounds. The only thing is I didn't lose that much body fat. So the trainer, because they weigh you everything, body fat, everything at the beginning and at the end. And at the end, he just looked at me. He's like, "How did you lose that much weight?" Like, you really lost any body fat. And I was just like,
50 pounds of waste in my colon.
Don't know, bro. I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Anyway, yeah, and it's just too expensive, and it is high intense, man. Like my body wasn't ready for that kind of shock, man. Things were hurting that I forgot were little injuries that were coming back, and it's not for me. I can't do circuit training. I need to be able to just go do my reps, do some cardio. Like I said, it's changed lives. I mean, that's been well documented, and it really does. You see some of these guys. Like Jericho is a perfect example. I don't think he'd be going as hard as he is in his career right now if he didn't pick up doing the DDP yoga. I really think that's a big reason. Same with Dustin Reynolds and Goga, another guy who picked up the DDPY a long time ago. And again, I don't think he'd be moving around the ring like he is today if he hadn't started making that a thing in his life. So
right. Dan, I'm curious. Did you lose a pretty significant amount of weight when you were doing it before your stroke? Because I'm curious. I know I've seen so many examples of the fact that it does work.
You think about trying it?
Well, possibly.
Here's the deal. He'll more than likely be on the cruise. He's been on the first 2.
Well, I'd like him to make fun of my belly first.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
See, and that's the thing. It does make you more balanced. It makes you be able to like bend and stretch in ways that you forgot. Man, it really it does work. It really does. Like I said, I'm just at the point where I want to just drop the belly weight really right now and then start gaining some muscle. So to me, it's just something that I'm not going to do as my only thing right now. But eventually.
I'm like you. But the food prep is tough for me. 40 pounds, that's not bad.
Awesome. Good for her.
That's awesome.
That is the big thing too. Food prep's hard for me. I'm currently going to start looking into a meal service plan because it's easy for me to go to the store and just not. Oh, that's awesome. Good for you.
30's great.
I'm not the guy. I can't go to the grocery store on my own and be trusted. I'm going to come home with like cookies and shit that I just don't need and somehow justify in my head.
You got to just be like me. This staying at home business, this is the worst.
Oh yeah.
I can't buy. I mean, literally, I'm not lying. I can't buy anything because if I buy something I like, let's just say Oreos. All right. Then I bring home some Oreos. Of course, I'm going to buy a family pack because I'm an economic shopper. And I bring them home. And I'm like, well, I'll just have a couple. You know how long they're there? Usually less than 3 hours.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's like, oh well, I got it. And it's like, man, I can't even understand how I can eat that much and not get ill.
I know, right? I think about that all the time. There's times where I'll just like binge out on something, and then afterwards I'm just like I feel like my arteries should clog now. Like, why am I? You know what I mean? No, that's why I'm going to look into a meal prep service, man, where they just deliver the meals. I just put them in my fridge and I microwave them. They deliver every week or 2 weeks. And then it cuts down on my grocery shopping. I'll go and get just essentials, basically stuff for like in the mornings, and then have it worked out to where my lunches and dinners are already made. I microwave them. I know what's in it. I know, and it can go to any diet usually when you go through these things, depending where you go. So I figured like, that's just what I'm going to have to do.
It's so hard.
It really
so
is
hard, man.
So that's just what I feel like I have to do in order to get on track. I think once I can get on track and get used to it, then I can probably take it more into my own hands. Once I move and get a place where I actually can food prep too, I won't mind doing that as much because I don't mind cooking. I like cooking.
Yeah. Well, you remember back at the radio station when they put me on that LA weight loss thing?
Yeah, you lost.
I lost over 100 pounds.
Yeah, you lost a ton of weight.
And then I went for a week up to my brother's cabin in northern Minnesota and put on 33. He says, "There's no way you could gain that much." I did.
Yeah.
Just by eating normally.
Man, there you go, dude. Get on DDPY, and I'll get this food service stuff going, and I'll start getting back to working out, and let's see how much weight we can both lose before we go on the cruise.
Yeah.
I need, like I said, I want to lose weight anyways after my.
But honestly, I mean, if DDP has a COVID sale, I might get it.
Dude, to be honest, like I remember getting it and doing it for the first time, and was shocked by how at the end of the half hour, 40-minute workout, how drenched in sweat I was. And I wasn't even like because you're not doing like running, you're not. It's all there.
But dude, I get drenched in sweat going to the mailbox.
Oh yeah. Dude, and the other thing too is, someone like me, I'm stiff. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't work out. I haven't been doing that kind of thing. So I get stiff. So I mean, like even just the slightest like turn and it's like, oh, cramp or something like that, where like that DDP, man, like you become way more flexible. Balance becomes 100 times better. It's amazing. It really is.
I'll have to look into it more because I sure don't want to fall off the boat.
Yeah.
But $100 for a year is not terrible.
No, and you know what's cool on the app? They do live workouts. So sometimes you can just go on and watch them live and work out with them, like a workshop, food plans, and like a whole ton of cooking videos that are like gluten-free and healthy.
How much do you think I could watch and lose just watching them? Like mentally going through the workout.
Might sweat a pound out. I don't know.
Just curious.
I don't know. You know what though? Like, dude, check it out. That app is pretty. Because I was gonna get it last year and I didn't. It's pretty slick.
I will. I'm gonna give it a look.
Yeah, man, check it out. And anybody else, if you've been on DDPY, let us know your stories.
By the way, Dan, you've been watching us a couple of times. Here's what I want you to do. I want to. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I understand, man. Wow. 345. That's pretty good. I don't want to tell you mine. My top weight. I don't know. Well, I will since I'm among the four friends that I have. 418.
When was that?
Down at the radio station.
Okay.
Before LA, I got down under 300 pounds with that LA weight loss.
Was that your real weight or was that your billing weight?
That was my billing weight. Yeah,
I asked that to Wes one time and he was like kind of insulted. He's like, "What? I don't lie about my weight." And I was like, "I'm just saying, bro."
All I remember is I know Andre the Giant was huge, but I also know there was a lot of 6'10" cops in New York City when he was coming down the aisle at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, no doubt he was a mammoth man, but if you go back and watch some of those old, where it's like shit. Those are huge cops too,
right? That's awesome, man. Yeah.
So I was gonna say, Dan, send us an email with your shipping address. I'll send you a shirt, man. And what size you want, I'll send you a shirt. You can either have one of our logo or you can have one of our ref 2 count. I said too many Oz, but anyway, we'll send you either one of those. Send us an email, Dan.
I had that shirt on this weekend, and my nephew's girlfriend was like, "Why are you wearing a Halloween shirt?" I was like, "What?" And my sister's like, "You got to remember how old she is. She probably doesn't know what Sesame Street was." I was like, "Do you not know what's?" Because she's like 18.
Yeah.
Like, "Do you not know what Sesame Street is?" She's like, "No." I was like, "Oh, that's how I know I'm getting old."
Oh, nice. I can probably work that out.
Yeah, that is the cool thing too. Like, if you can't do it, like they make the DDP so easy to like go as a beginner and work your way to the full positions or full movement, like using chairs and other things to help you. You know, it's all about just pushing to what you can get to, even if you have to have assistance.
Yeah,
just keep doing it eventually, you know. And if you watch the videos and stuff, I mean, you watch Jake and the resurrection of Jake the Snake and seeing what he went through. You watched the initial video, I think that really blew DDPY up, which was, I think Arthur was his name.
Yeah,
the guy who was like a parasoldier jumping out of planes and stuff at like the double crutches. And yeah, man, I mean, that guy can run now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got that time. 20-30 minutes a day. Yeah, I got that easy.
And that is it. They're really like, anywhere from like when I had the DVDs, they were anywhere from 20 to like 40-minute long workouts.
Yeah.
And they'll if you go on the app, they'll probably break it down to like, for a beginner, here's what you do these one this day, this one this day, this one this day, because there's a bunch of different ones. There's ones to burn fat, there's one to build like core strength, there's one to build your flexibility. It's cool, man. It's cool. I'll get back into it eventually, but anyway,
yeah, we got off the track, but that's okay. You know what? Because this was what? To be fair, this was probably much more interesting than Raw.
No, it was fun, and I'm glad. Dan, thanks for hanging out and
Dan, we love it.
Conversation.
And I'm serious, Dan. Send us a messenger or an email or something. Let me know whether you want a logo or you want the count and what size of shirt you want, and I'll ship one out to you.
For sure, yeah, definitely. Yeah, anyways, Heath Slater looking jacked from his CrossFit. Again,
he's got 42 minutes and we haven't even got to the first match yet.
No, man. No. But it's been an entertaining show. You can't say
I think so. That's true.
You can't. We've tied wrestling in, though.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, hey, man, it is a comedy show as well.
Yeah.
By the way, George Lopez has a new special out on Netflix. I'm going to have to check it out this week.
Oh, no kidding.
He looks funny. His last few I saw weren't.
He's getting old. It's harder when you get older.
Well, he went way political, I feel like, the last couple, where this one feels like he gets back to kind of just ripping on his own family again. And that's funny.
Yeah.
Anyways, Heath Slater came back. Super squash match.
Yeah. Very quick.
He also did a little thing after for WWE.com. And yeah, definitely sounds like a one-off. I mean, unless that buzz from him coming out last night somehow changes Vince and Stephanie and Triple H's minds, which I don't see happening. Because me and you said that we talked about it last night because you texted me and I be like, because I wasn't watching Raw live at the moment. And I was like, so Heath's on, huh? You know, I'd seen it on Twitter, but I called you and like we said, it was just like, man, in Vince's eyes, unfortunately, I mean, he was there for 14 years.
Yeah.
Never really made it.
Never got a chance.
You know what I mean? And that's something that after 14 years, I don't see Vince changing his mind now about it. I just don't see it happening. He even said it was kind of a good way to close that chapter in his life. And again, he's still pushing for something on July 18th. I wonder what that is.
Is that the Slammiversary?
I think it is. So I mean, he can end up there, and who knows where he's going to end up. And again, we were also talking, it really feels like too that we may possibly see like an AEW, ROH, and Impact all work together very soon. It really seems like the people getting really involved are all connected.
They're all, well, the thing about it is they're all friends and they don't have this independent contractor kind of albatross hanging around their necks, you know? And I think the other promotions other than AEW, I know ROH does. I think they see a value in working with other promotions. They have in the past.
What I was going to say is, what do you think? How do you think this move would go? Because obviously we're in a very, very strange time in this pandemic era and this pandemic era wrestling, where you got shows with no crowds. You got WWE doing what they're doing. You got all these other shows doing what they're doing. But WWE isn't coming out smelling like roses right now. I think they said this last SmackDown was the all-time lowest rated SmackDown that's aired on Fox since they took SmackDown.
Yeah.
Which isn't going to sit well with Fox.
Yeah.
The XFL stuff, all the stuff concerning the pandemic and WWE all of a sudden becoming essential, and then just how they handled the pandemic and the firings, and just again, you can't forget they also had the Superfly Snuka stuff aired on the Beyond the Dark or Dark Side of the
yeah,
where it really basically tells you Vince McMahon paid some hush money to cover up his murder, like all this shit, to where WWE is at probably the lowest point they've ever been in years.
Yeah.
Do you think this would be the time to see like AEW, Impact, ROH, and if they were somehow to get, I'm going to go with them right now because I don't see any international stuff happening right now. But like in a few months, especially if things start to settle down, wouldn't you think that would be the time for them to pull together? Because they've always, especially the elite guys, you've always heard them talk about how they would love to see a big show happen that was a cross promotion show. Well, get these dream matches. So with WWE being as down as they've ever been, might be the time.
I think you're right. I think, and we started seeing that a little bit between NWA and ROH. And we saw that in the first All In as well. But I think the seeds are planted, kind of depending on what happens with Marty. I think that might be a huge bump in the road, whether they work with ROH again or because he was such a big part of that. And I mean, he was,
and who's to say he's even with ROH in a few more months?
I mean, exactly. I mean, ROH right now is running best ofs in their television spot. And, I mean, you don't hear a whole hell of a lot of news from them anyway. Right. The only thing I heard about ROH was that the Briscoes contract was coming up, but I don't see them going anywhere. I mean, I
don't see them going anywhere either. And if they did, man, I really feel like that would be an AEW move, or they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I would think so too.
You know what I mean? Which would be great because you already have an amazing tag team division in AEW, and then to throw the Briscoe brothers in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That very first Jericho Cruise was very much a cross-promoted show.
Yeah. I don't know what the, with Cage leaving Impact, I don't know if there's a bad taste in the mouth over that, or whether they've got an axe to grind or not. But I mean, I didn't know
too much about it, but it does sound like he didn't leave on the bed, or at least they were mad that he didn't sign and went to AEW.
Yeah.
Understandable. I mean, that's a huge talent. Like, to me, the fact that WWE let that guy slip through their fingers, especially knowing how big of a boner Vince McMahon gets for guys in that size.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude must have blew one in his pants when he first met Brian Cage. Although I don't think Brian Cage was as big back then when he was doing, I believe it was FCW and maybe a little NXT.
Yeah.
But I mean, man. And the fact that he's that big and can move so good in the ring.
Yeah. He's definitely doing the DDP yoga.
Oh, and we're going to get a great match of him and Mox when it finally happens.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Which sounds like Fight for the Fallen. Yeah. You just know it's going to be a great match. That was a really, really smart signing on AEW's part.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, well, I guess let's blow by the recap because we're not going to have enough time to do anything else that we do. All right. Yeah. So let's talk about first of all the that's a great point. But that all kind of happened because of All In, really, didn't it? I mean, once JR was not doing the announcing anymore, it was not nearly as attractive, I think, to U.S. crowds. At least to people who were finding on it. And let's be honest, Access is not the most available cable channel out there.
Yeah, I've only
I was telling you, I would love to watch Impact, but I don't get that channel.
I know, me too. I got to figure out a way to. And if anybody,
there's ways.
I know.
I think honestly, I think they're still showing. I think they're still showing the show on Twitch.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which is one of the reasons that we've been sending the show there.
Yeah.
Because there's wrestling on Twitch, and of course, I think AAA's on Twitch as well. If you want to watch AAA,
YouTube, bro.
AAA.
Twitch is the new YouTube.
But anyway, so let's see. And obviously the two on our little thumbnail for the show, the two matches that I'm really, really looking forward to on Wednesday is Orange Cassidy and Jericho. Jesus, what is wrong with me? And Adam Cole and Keith Lee. Those are two going to be huge. And now, of course, there was a spoiler.
Yeah, way to go, Keith Lee.
It wasn't Keith Lee that spoiled it.
Oh, that's what I thought I heard.
No, it was another talent that took a picture.
Oh, I see.
And then tweeted it.
I heard that it was a picture, but I heard Keith Lee posted it.
No, it wasn't Keith Lee that posted it. It was the guy that took it.
I didn't read fully in. I just read something that Keith Lee posted, spoiler or something. Yeah, which unfortunately I will admit, well, I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't watch NXT live this Wednesday anyways, because, Orange Cassidy and Jericho.
I know. Well, dude.
And the fact that Jericho tweeted that, he is so proud of the match they did, because obviously it must have been recorded already.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, Jericho. Yeah, Dan, you're correct. Jericho today or yesterday said he thinks it's the best match he's ever done, possibly.
It just even gets me more fired up.
Cody even said that, what they did was an amazing thing, and everybody needs to really watch it. So, and dude, I said this 4 weeks ago. I was like, Orange Cassidy and Jericho, it needs to event the pay-per-view. Okay, cool. So it was recorded on July 2nd. So, again, they did a really good job building this. And what's funny is they were so hot for that 1 week about how, oh my God, is Jericho and Tyson going to wrestle in AEW? And I'll tell you what, nobody cares talking about Tyson.
Nobody cares about Tyson, which is awesome.
That was just accidental,
which is awesome. You know what? I wonder, because if you think about it, it's entirely possible that they brought that all up, knowing full well they weren't going to do shit with Tyson, and to have all this buildup, and then to have Cassidy just sort of slide right in there, and it's just automatically boom,
Yeah, because I'm interested to see, because we talked about it last week when I said that his matches where Pac made him more credible, especially for the people who are still not on the Orange Cassidy train.
Yeah, they
made him more credible, but they still weren't. There was more. You can tell there was more. If you've seen his stuff on the indies, there's more. That there's more that he can do and bring to the ring. So this is the match that might definitely skyrocket Orange Cassidy up the ladder here at AEW.
And you thought you'd seen it all when Jarvis Cottonbelly and Orange Cassidy put on the sleeper match.
I love
one of my favorite things. Man, Tyson is.
The other thing too is I feel like they'll wait till they have people in the crowd for that, because that's an attraction. You're gonna have Jericho and like I said, if they make it happen, which by the way, Jericho doing the commentary is just genius. I love that they still make that a thing. And the Britt Baker stuff in the little her little Pope mobile.
They're just doing so much. They're just doing so much right, man.
So great.
By the way, before we go off on anything else, when Brody Lee got mad and made that phone call to Evil Ono and told him to fold those papers and smack himself in the head with it, and when they did it, the very first thing on Being the Elite, I about pissed my pants.
I know, right?
That was the funniest thing.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
I just love these guys. These guys are to me now what the NWO was when they first started. There's just the cool, and I just get the feeling with these guys, they know where the limit is. They know that you don't keep piling on, you don't beat a dead horse, you come up with new stuff, and that's why it's so great.
Well, and I think they know they don't have to be as polished. Like WWE, Vince has his standards, and at times they may seem even unattainable. Where AEW is doing their thing, they're putting on good wrestling shows.
Yeah,
not that WWE isn't, but I think sometimes their own production and how they want, they can't just let things happen. It has to happen the way that he wants it, and it gets in the way sometimes. Because in all honesty, like, you brought Kyrie out, that was awesome. You brought Heath out, that was a huge pop. And again, big shout out to Heath for that. It was awesome to see that, and he's got really big things coming his way. So, and then just Kevin Owens and the Rey Mysterio stuff, Dominic getting in there with Seth. Again, I hate Seth. I don't want to see any of it, but you know what? I do want to see Dominic Mysterio kick some ass.
Yeah.
So I'm in. You know, the Asuka stuff. I mean, like, they just, things are going okay right now, WWE wise, and I feel like because they are starting to build a little bit more storyline. I don't know. It feels like Taker. It feels like Taker announced his retirement, and they're like, "Okay, we don't have that card, that ace in the hole anymore, guys.
Yeah,
Full steam ahead now."
entirely.
You know, because it does seem like the last 2 weeks of Raw, specifically Raw, have improved. And have been a bit easier to watch. Now, is it what we're still getting on AEW? No. But again, they're never going to be the same show. And if anybody's
right.
And that's another thing too, as we're getting close to being done for the night, is right, exactly. Yeah. WWE buying Evolve was a huge move on their part too.
I wonder, it's interesting because I wonder if he'll even put them on. I mean, the ones with the Bucks. I mean,
I'll be on the network.
He probably won't have a problem. I mean, he's got stuff with JR talking about different things. I think JR was in the Taker thing, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I don't think it's interesting.
I think he's blackballed only certain people, like people that I think he thought couldn't go on without, like a Vicky Guerrero, where in his mind he's probably like, you know, she can't do anything without us, and then all of a sudden they're right. You know what I mean? But I think there's certain people that it's like you also can't just deny the talent.
Well, but not only can you not deny the talent, but that's part of his power.
Oh yeah,
he likes to be able to. Oh, I can get him to come back anytime I want to. Damn it!
No kidding. Anyways, one thing that has been really just irritating is still seeing people compare these two and fight over it. As far as AEW and WWE, like I said, there's things I don't like on both shows, but I'm still going to watch them. And sometimes I'm going to be more entertained by one show than another. I'll tell you what, this last week of Dynamite was the first time I actually flipped off to check in on NXT. I haven't done that.
Oh, wow.
This is the first time I did it. And the only reason I did it is because I saw that they started with the 4-way match for the number one contender for the women's title. And I was like, well, I'm a Dakota Kai guy. I want to see what's going on. And it just happened to be down to her and Tegan Knox. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch this. Once it ended and they went to commercial, I flipped back and didn't go back the rest of the night. But I mean,
by the way, do you feel like last Wednesday, Sheeta and Penelope Ford stole that entire show? Was theirs was the best match? Holy cow!
Yeah, I think they said that was like Penelope Ford's best match since she got to Dynamite.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's very true. And Jericho's going to be a guy where if he's done with AEW, Vince will try to
sign him. He'll sign him back to a legend contract.
Eventually, when he's not under contract with anybody, Jericho's a guy that's going Hall of Fame for WWE.
Oh yeah,
no way that they wouldn't. You know, there's just no way. But yeah, anyways, people need to stop fighting over this, and because as a wrestling fan, it makes it hard. Like, I don't even want to go on Twitter or anything during shows. Like while Raw's on, I don't want to go because I just see people like fighting each other over, well, AEW does this better, WWE does, and it's just like, dude, what a time to be. I mean, pandemic excluded, but what a time to be alive as a wrestling fan. You have
I just always feel like this. I feel like because being a comedian, I know that it's art, and you may not like me, you may like somebody else better. It's still art. It's the same thing with a painting. It's art. It's the way that the show's put together. It's some people enjoy it, some people don't.
Yeah.
And if you're a real wrestling fan, you find something to enjoy if that's what you want to do. And if you don't, then don't watch it.
Right. I
you know.
agree. I think we should end the show on this, though.
Okay.
What is your thoughts on the brand new United States Championship title belt?
Whatever.
Did you
I
see?
mean, yeah, I saw it. It looks nice. I'm not like, oh my God, I'm gonna freak out over a belt.
Well,
I mean, I'm not that guy.
But for me, and I know, but I like because to me, part of the heritage and like the history of wrestling are these titles. So
I like it.
like
I'll say
the wing eagle belt or like like those things.
I mean,
I love them.
I like it better than the stupid red, white, and blue painted chunk of crap.
What I was going to ask you is because it's on there still, but it's not just like painted out like that first. Yeah. But I almost wish they just didn't even have that. Maybe just put the flag on the sides.
Yeah.
And let that belt be gold and whatever. I don't know.
To me, if you go back and look, and this is and we can stop whenever you want to, but if my favorite belt, the way that it's set out and it looks of all time, is the WCW television title. And because it's not it doesn't claim to be the World Heavyweight Championship, but it's got on the side plates, it's got the television network logos and a cable thing, and it's just I mean, that one is good. It does what it does. The other one that was one of the great belts was the Intercontinental on white.
Yeah.
And and I like the other ones. The old NWA belt, absolutely. That one's still very cool because obviously that one's kind of like the oldest,
right?
And
I'm still very partial to the last. It went from NWA to WCW to eventually WWE to now not used anymore, and that is the all gold, the big gold,
10 pounds of gold,
the World Heavyweights Championship.
And a lot of people call it the Flair belt.
Yeah.
Because he had it more than anybody else.
Is that it? Is that it though, or is that? I'm talking about the one that eventually
You're talking about the great big gold
that Hogan spray painted NWO on.
Yeah,
man. That's the only. I've only owned one replica belt in my entire life, and it was that. I got it from a guy who was like not a wrestling fan. He was at some like benefit in Washington D.C. I don't know what this guy does for work, but he was in Washington D.C. at some like charity thing and won it in a drawing. And like came home and was just like, and told his friend, and his friend was like, my buddy's like a big wrestling guy. You should, if you want to sell it. And he was like, yeah, I'd probably sell it. He's like, how much you want? And I was like, $200, because it was like going for $300 or $350 at the time on WWE. And he was like, yeah, dude, that's cool. I don't want it. What am I going to do with it? And I was like, hell yeah, dude, I loved that thing. It was amazing. It looked so nice on the wall and shit.
Yeah.
Bringing it to shows was stupid. I hated doing that. I did that like twice, and after that, I was like, "Screw this! I'm not bringing this thing anymore." But man, like even the replica, I would like just kind of look at it and be like, "Oh, this thing's nice." And it was like because those replicas are legit. Like it was the actual they're commemorative, which are like the actual sizing and everything, but it's still plastic.
Yeah,
or mine was the actual metal and stuff.
The replica with the real plates. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was a sick belt. I wish I still had it. I sold it.
If I could ever find one, and I don't think I will, and I don't think I'll ever spend the money for it to get them, because some of the real old ones, like from when I watched, like I would love to get a Central States Championship belt from the Kansas City territory, because that's where I started watching wrestling when I was a kid. And spinner, loved the spinners, baby. But if I could find that somewhere, and I saw one of them somewhere, and it was like $11,000, and I'm like, well, I'll never.
There's some people who, like, you can buy, like, even through WWE, you can buy some that are, $3,000-$4,000.
Oh yeah,
a replica.
Yeah.
I mean, if I ever become a millionaire with just money to blow, then I'll buy one just so I can have one. But like, man, who is spending money? Like, I see the people, dude, you go to shows now, like especially WWE, you go to a show and you will see those guys. There is always this fan at the shows, the belt guy.
Yeah.
He's got 2 or 3 on around the waist. He's got probably one around his neck, and then he's got one on each arm. Dude can't bend or anything. He's walking like this. And it's like, first of all, like that looks so just time taking to get through security of the arena with all of those, because you're gonna have to take them all off and put it through, and then put it all back on. And then like on top of that, dude, like I said, I brought my one replica a few times to shows and like to one WrestleMania, which it never left the hotel. Because it's a pain in the ass carrying one around. You get bored. Eventually you're like, I don't want to hold on to this thing. And I was too fat, so I couldn't wear it. And it was just like, this sucks. You know what I mean? So you see a guy who's got like 7 belts. I mean, he's basically like a freaking caterpillar in belts. And it's like, what the hell, man? Plus, dude, that's like $5,000 you got right there in belts around your neck. And you can't defend yourself now. You can't move. Someone just tip you over and take all your belts away.
Yeah. Punch you down and take your belts.
There's always that fan though. And I always laugh because they always just think they look cool as shit walking with all their belts. And every time I see them, I'm just like, that looks awful. Awful. The other thing too is when you have those belts, it's hilarious. On the last Jericho cruise that we were on, someone had the gold belt that I was talking about and had the version with the NWO on it. Yeah. And all I said was like, hey man, that's a cool belt. All of a sudden, hey, you want to take a picture with it? And I was kind of like, not really, but okay, hey. But like, that's the thing though. Like, I don't know why that guy did that to me. And it's because when I used to bring it out to shows, dude, you know how many like kids or other people when they're around you, like especially if they're sitting near you, looking at it and eventually are like, can we hold it? Yeah, and especially if it's like a little kid, because then you're like, oh, but like
peanut butter on a kid.
Yeah, but after a while, it was just like, I'm spending half my time at this show letting people look at my stupid belt. I don't even watching matches right now. Like, dude, it's just,
there you go.
Don't be that guy. Leave your belts at home. Leave them at home.
And that was a cautionary tale.
If you have that kind of money that you're buying and you have like 20 belts, like even I'm a hardcore wrestling fan, but even I'm like, that's a bit much, man. Use that money to go to like the shows.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Cool, man. All right, buddy.
That's my belt story.
Next week, let's see if we can get comedian and wrestling fan Corey Adam to come on with us.
All right.
I think he was watching earlier. I don't know if he still is or not, but I'll contact him. And by the way, if you want to listen to some more wrestling on Thursday at about somewhere between 10 and 1, I usually go on with him. We talk about wrestling on Thursday mornings on Twitch, and the channel is Twitch Talk, just like TikTok, except talk at the end and Twitch at the beginning. Anyway, that's what his is. And you can look him up at Corey Adam Comedy. I'll be on there on Thursdays until I have something else to do on Thursday in the mornings. Show wise, I don't have anything else booked now. I had something booked on on the 11th, which would have been this Saturday, but I am afraid that it was shut down because of the virus. So as of this moment, and I was also going to go to Alaska on the 24th and 25th of July, and that got shut down because Alaska at the moment is requiring a 14-day quarantine before you do anything. So that would have meant that I would have had anyway, the point is we're not doing that. So the next show I have is August 30th in Harris, Michigan, which is a little bit south of Escanaba at the Island Casino. So you can look me up there. How about you, Ace? What do you got going on this week?
We were going to try to do a show this last weekend. So if anybody saw the Briscoe and Big Ace tweet post about a show that was about to happen on Thursday.
Yeah.
It didn't happen.
It didn't.
Sorry. I knew I should have known better than to push that we were going to do it. Because again, it was a holiday weekend. And when Wes called me and was like, yeah, we'll do a show tonight. And I was like, or tomorrow, because I'm off and it's Friday. And he's like, no, I'm fishing all day. And I'm like, yeah, well, you just got done fishing. So you really want to go like do a show? You're with your buddies. So I kind of figured it wasn't going to happen, but just in case, I was like, hey, we're going to go live. And then we didn't. So no worries though. We're going to come. I think Thursday we're looking at doing a show. It'll be Wes and I. We're just going to catch up. He's been getting into some spear fishing this last week. He wants to talk about it. So we're going to do that. We're getting closer to about 3 weeks out from our 2-year anniversary of the Wes Briscoe and Big A show. So we've got some plans for that show.
Nice.
Coming up. And you can find us on YouTube, the Briscoe and Big A Show. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Also, if again, YouTube, Briscoe and Big A Show, and like this, please subscribe to our channel as well as the 2 Count channel. If that's not your speed though, vocnation.com. Check them out. You can find audio versions on demand of the Briscoe and Big A Show exclusively on VOC Nation.
You can also, if you want to support us, you can buy a t-shirt with a logo up there in the corner, or you can buy one of these lovely Count t-shirts. This is the shit right here. That's such a nice subtle joke.
Just wait till we have even more money to put into the merch and stuff, because we're going to make some really cool stuff. So
I'll be honest with you. I made half of my money in comedy. I don't know, but I was selling merch. So
dude, so like here's the deal, like even people like wrestlers and stuff, even when you see them doing their pro wrestling stuff.com, cool, fine and dandy, do it. It is a great way to sell merch, but you still sell at the shows, man. You still print your own and sell them at the shows, because you make the money, man.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Any wrestler. That's how it goes. And maybe someday if we're like doing stuff where we're actually in front of people, we'll have merch. But
I'm in front of people all the time. I sell them to clean their cars with. This is a great rag for car washing.
It's got the count on it,
$25. That's where you hold on. It's a great gripper. Seriously, Danny, send us your mailing address and your shirt size, and whether you want a logo or a count, and I will send one to you, because I appreciate you've been watching us for a while here, and I want to give you a little reward.
For sure, yeah, definitely. And then anybody watching who's been on the Jericho Cruise, we got the Jericho Cruise going, contest going. Tell us your Jericho Cruise story. Link is somewhere, right?
The link is down in the description. Otherwise, it's right there. That's what it looks like if you click onto it. I'll scooch down there. It says right there, record your video. Boom, you can do it. It's easy.
Get on there. Do it. Cool prize package up for grabs. So make sure you get on that.
All righty. Sounds good, everybody. We appreciate it. Have a good weekend. We'll get Corey Adam on here with us next week. And you all be good. Wash your hands. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.
Bye.